Shalom. So I just want to share something with you guys. I want to share 3 times. Hopefully, won't babble. That three jail incidences that just let me share them. So the first one took place before I gave my life to Yeshua. Yahuwah had been dropping seeds in my life. He had placed people there that ministered to me without me realizing that they were ministering the word of Yahuwah to me. Even my second oldest brother, he gave me my first Bible when I was out in the world. And during that time, I was practicing witchcraft. I was opening and closing my chakras. I was doing a lot of drugs, which, by the way, I am 13 years sober from cocaine. I was addicted to coke. That's not the only drug that I did, but that's the one that I was addicted to. So I was dating this guy. Well, I was engaged to a guy, and there was a domestic dispute that happened. He put his hands on me. I right hooked him. He called the cops. He told the cops, because I heard him tell the cops, that I hit him because he hit me. And they still only arrested me. Okay. But this was Yahuwah planting seeds in my life. So understand, like, he allowed me to be the only one to be. Anyway, so I get there. I get into my cell. This is early in the morning. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when I got arrested. I get into the cell. My cellmate was in there pacing. And like I said, she was up pacing. And hair all over her head. I was in there for a few days. The whole time we were in our cell, she would pace around in a circle. And you remember I told you during this time when I was out in the world, I hated God. Anything, if you said God, Jesus, all that stuff, like, I was that person that attacked you, like, verbally attacked you, like, did malicious things because I hated him. I hated him. So she was circling, and I would just remember I was just like, oh my God, they put me in this cell with this crazy woman because she was just circling around, hair all over her head, praising Jesus, praising Jesus, praising Jesus. So one day, well, it was actually, yeah, so one day, the speaker came on in our cell. My name was called. Her name was Cynthia Johnson. I still remember her name. My name was called. I went down to the correctional officer's pod. They started to hand me my paperwork, and when I looked at it, I said, this says Cynthia Johnson on it. They were like, oh, we called the wrong person. But mind you, when they said my name, she didn't walk out the door when the door opened because we both heard them say Leah Allen. So I went back. Finally, they called her name. She left. Now that's very significant because they called my name, but she got released. I want y'all to understand, like, they called my name. Okay. So that was one incident where he was planting seeds in my life. Now, me almost dying is what actually caused me to give my life to him. But unfortunately, there's 2 times I've been arrested since I've been walking with Yahuwah. Both of those times actually were for the same reason, domestic violence. Only in these 2 incidences, the person that was putting their hands on me went to jail as well. However, the first incident, I called the cops. The second incident, I don't even know where the cops came from because neither one of us called them. But both times I had marks on me, but it was determined that they couldn't tell who the aggressor was. So they arrested me. So the first time, we were in the women's holding cell. It was me and a few other women, and there was this one woman that was in there, and she was acting crazy. You know, she was talking to herself. She was doing weird things, moving weird or whatnot. And see, this particular jail doesn't house women. So the women are usually transported to a jail in another county because this jail is strictly for men. So I was supposed to go down with the other women in the holding cell, but for whatever reason, they took me up to medical. And in the medical holding cell, it was just me and the woman that was like talking to herself and doing all this other stuff. Now, this one wasn't praising Jesus. This one was doing some very demonic type things. And I remember when I was sitting in there, I was sitting down and I was like, I was asking Yahuwah, I was like, are you here? Are you here? Because if you're here, I need you to show me that you're here. And I remember as soon as I said that, I looked up at the door and I looked straight to it. Someone had carved the tetragrammaton. Those are the four letters for Yahweh, YHWH, Yadhe Vavhe, which is really YHVH, but that's another video. I looked straight up to it when I asked him. So it was like he was showing me, I'm there with you. So I started singing a praise and worship song. Todd Dulaney, the anthem by Todd Dulaney is what I started singing. And this woman that was acting crazy and demonic or whatnot, she was in, like I said, it was just me and her in the cell. She started getting mad. She turned around and started telling me to shut up. And I promise you this is what happened. I looked at her. Now, mind you, I was living in sin during this time because this is during my backslidden state. But I still had enough sense to know that Yahuwah was still the Most High. So, getting mad. And I remember there was a few times I looked at her and I said, that's not your body. And you're going to have to go. Said it more than one time. I remember that. We were there all night. We weren't supposed to be there all night. They were supposed to come check on us. They forgot about us, yo. So I'm in there with this woman, singing praise and worship songs, talking to whatever that was in her, telling it. And every time, shut up, like face twisted all up, telling me to shut, was angry. The last time I was arrested, listen, I hate to tell you guys, but yeah, that's true. Same thing, same person. I was in the women's holding cell. And I remember looking over and I saw that woman. Same woman from the first time. Because this is the same county. The second and third time was the same county. I saw that same woman. And she was acting what we would call normal. She wasn't doing all that crazy stuff like she was doing the first time that I had met her a few years prior. And it wasn't until after I got released, because mind you, I'm at the third time I went to jail, I was beyond heated. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, it was a few cuss words came out of my mouth that time, because I'm just like, I'm tired of y'all arresting me, and I'm the one getting hit on. You know what I'm saying? Why do I keep getting arrested? But I fully believe that Yahuwah allowed me to be arrested that time to see that woman was in fact in her right mind. After the first time I had met her, it was the same woman. I remember her face. She had the same hairstyle, everything. But she wasn't doing all that crazy stuff. As a matter of fact, she was over in the corner just looking like, she was just like, now she was still in jail, so I mean, unfortunately, but I just want y'all to understand, what I heard Ruach HaKodesh say is, even the smallest things that you do are enough for him. Sometimes it's just to plant a seed. Yes, we all want to do some grandstand, build an orphanage, go over to, Israel and all this other stuff. We want to do that. But sometimes it's just the small things that he will multiply into a big thing. That woman being in her right mind. Now, I'm not the only person, because like I said, it was years in between. So I'm pretty sure it was a few people that came after me. And maybe even a few people that came before me. But I just want you to understand, like, seeing that was enough to understand that even the small thing I did contributed to another soul being postured for salvation. You feel me? I had a coworker that was like, I could see you doing like missionary work, going over here. And she was talking about going overseas. And I looked at her, I said, why do missionaries have to be overseas? I said, do you know how many people in the United States are homeless, hooked on drugs? I said, what if missionary work was done at home first? We always want to go overseas, but there's people that need Yahuwah in our backyard. It doesn't make any sense. The small things, you guys. That person that you gave the money to, that person you brought the food to, that person you prayed with, please understand, Yahuwah can take the smallest thing that you do. My brother giving me a Bible during a time that I was full on in satanic mode, okay? Gave me a Bible. And the only reason why I took the Bible was because of my respect for my brother. But I still hated God. But I respected my brother. So I took the Bible, not knowing that it was a seed being planted. And Yahuwah rewarded him by the day that he was ordained as a minister. He saw me give my life to Yeshua and even prayed over me. Same day. This all happened same day at the same ceremony. And that's a whole different story, but it's just, you think it's a small thing. You think it's a small thing, but it's not. To Yahuwah, it's not. So what if you're not building orphanages and opening up homeless shelters and doing all these grandstanding, the smallest little things, that person you gave a ride to, you never know how Yahuwah can use the seed that you planted. Come on, plant seeds, y'all. That's all. You guys have a great rest of the day. I have another video that he wants me to put up later, but for right now, this is it. All right. Shalom Aleichem.